Hi Steve fans and welcome back. I'm a total wreckhead, and for me there's nothing like wreck diving to experience human history firsthand. And we've often been surrounded by marine life, it's even better. Whether you're a new or experienced diver, a rust addict like me, or someone who just wants to try something new, there's a wreck dive waiting for you. And in this video we'll be showcasing 10 unmissable wreck diving destinations and one you shouldn't miss. For those here for the first time, my name's Mark and I'm the editor-in-chief of the Scuba Diver media brand, and welcome to the Scuba Diver YouTube channel. Remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos, and ring that bell so you get notification of the latest releases. Don't forget to check out below how you can get a free digital subscription to any of our magazines: Scuba Diver UK, Scuba Diver Australia and New Zealand, and Scuba Diver Destinations, our US and Canada edition. And if you want to get your hands on a print version, we've got a special subscription deal for our YouTube followers. Now, let's dive into that video. Calling all hardcore wreck divers, or those who want to explore a sunken ship or airplane for the very first time. There are innumerable wreck diving locations on our watery planet, but here is our pick of what we think are some of the world's best wreck diving destinations to explore. Number 10, Papua New Guinea. Relatively inaccessible, ignored by the modern world, and home to hundreds of diverse tribes, there's nowhere quite like PNG. This land of thick tropical jungle is equally as diverse underwater as above, and hosts numerous World War II wrecks. Renowned for muck diving, Milne Bay has rich volcanic sands full of macro life. And while most divers visit for the muck diving, there's a good selection of World War II wrecks to explore in the bay's sheltered waters. Kimby Bay was once ranked by National Geographic as one of the world's best reefs, and hosts to 900 species of fish. If you can tear yourself away from the reefs, be sure to dive the Zero wreck. This famous wreck is an intact World War II Mitsubishi Zero fighter plane, the transport used by Japanese kamikaze pilots. To fully immerse in Papua New Guinea's best wrecks, visit Rebel. There are numerous World War II plane wrecks and boats to explore at Simpson Harbour, and lying from 5 to 50 metres deep, there's something for everyone. Top tip: when you've finished wreck diving at Rebel, be sure to watch the horizon at night. You can see active volcanoes glowing on the horizon. Number 9, the Solomon Islands. Hidden away in the southwest Pacific Ocean, the Solomon Islands offer remote wreck diving among some of the 922 islands found there. Subject to heavy combat for 6 months during World War II, the islands have numerous wrecks, including hundreds of ships, submarines, aircraft and munition dumps. The Solomon Island reefs are also thriving and host to over 500 species of coral. The Florida Islands are littered with around 1,000 wrecks, including over 600 aircraft. Known as Iron Bottom Sound, you can dive among Japanese and American military relics there, including minesweepers, submarines, plants and troop carriers. The Russell Islands offer an equally impressive list of wrecks, including boats, jeeps, munitions that are now thriving artificial reefs. Go wreck diving to your heart's content at the famous White Sand Beach, then visit Mirror Pond Sea Fan Wall for pygmy seahorses. And you can dive in Learoo Cut, which is a crevasse that cuts through the island. Top tip: dive the Russell Islands Custom Cave Halocline to feel like you're swimming through the air. Number 8, the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. Many people visit Australia to dive the Great Barrier Reef, but few realise this spectacular reef system is home to one of the world's top wrecks, the SS Yongala. This impressive wreck, which sank in 1911, is protected by the Historic Shipwrecks Act. The interior is virtually untouched and can't be dived, but the exterior is reason to visit alone. It's over 109 metres long, so you can conduct numerous dives and still find something new. It's covered in hard and soft corals, and this unique wreck also hosts passing bull sharks, bull rays and huge grouper. Top tip: dive the Great Barrier Reef during June or July. The Yongala's got the best visibility then, and you can also join a liveaboard safari to snorkel with migrating dwarf minke whales. Number 7, the Bahamas. The Bahamas is best known for its incredible shark and reef diving opportunities, but you can also get your wreck diving fix and your film geek on in Nassau. This wreck diving mecca has 2 aptly named wrecks, the James Bond wrecks, that were used, funnily enough, in James Bond films. The Vulcan bomber from 1965 Thunderball, which is actually just a scaffolding structure that looks like a warplane, and the Tears of Allah shipwreck from 1983's Never Say Never Again. Sitting at just 13 metres deep, you can easily explore both wrecks in one dive and relive your favourite James Bond moment with your dive buddy. Top tip, look closely at the James Bond wrecks. There are diverse critters tucked away in the corals, particularly on the Vulcan bomber framework. Number 6, the Cayman Islands. With over 350 dive sites and numerous islands to explore, it's easy to see why the Cayman Islands are so popular for scuba diving. There's something for every dive preference, including plenty of wreck diving opportunities. The USS Kittiwake is an iconic wreck that sits at less than 20 metres and has exceptional water visibility, making her perfect for new wreck divers. There's a huge interior to explore, plus 5 decks and 2 bridges. Be sure to take your camera, as this wreck is surrounded by typical Caribbean marine life. It used to be upright, but it now lies on its side after being shifted by fierce weather conditions. Another well-known Cayman Islands wreck is the MV Keith Tibbets. This is accessible to both snorkelers and divers. This Russian missile frigate is the only diveable Soviet wreck in the Western Hemisphere. It's been hit by several winter storms, but there's still plenty to explore, including the impressive guns. Or you can simply admire the numerous fish, anemones, dense coral beds and nudibranchs that can be found there. Top tip, try doing a wreck night dive on the Kittiwake for a completely different Cayman Islands dive experience. Number 5, the Philippines. Coron is well off the beaten track and offers a chance to dive a variety of wrecks, all within recreational diving limits. This tiny island made history during World War II as a site of a battle between Japanese warships and American airplanes, which resulted in numerous wrecks that you can dive. Coron's wrecks sit in shallow waters and include small gunboats, seaplane tenders and tankers, many of which are still intact, bringing history truly back to life. The Irako, a Japanese refrigeration ship, is known as one of the Philippines' best wrecks and has great visibility, allowing divers to see her entire length. The Nanshin Maru is an easy wreck dive for beginners with backfish and grouper, while the Olympia Maru, a 130 metre long Japanese freighter, is an impressive sight, and with her main deck 18 metres deep, she's also great for the less experienced. Top tip, visit Coron's Barracuda Lake to dive in volcanic waters that get warmer as you descend, from 28C at the surface to 38C at depth. Number 4, Grenada and Carriacou. There are few countries globally that can compete with Grenada and Carriacou when it comes to sheer number of shipwrecks, never mind just in the Caribbean. And incredibly, many of the sunken vessels were genuine maritime accidents, not purpose-sunk artificial reefs. Even better, because the islands sit near a busy trade route, the number of wrecks is going up all the time. You cannot talk about wreck diving in Grenada without first mentioning the mighty Bianca C, a gigantic 180 metre long Italian liner which went down in '61. Known as the Titanic of the Caribbean, I first dived this in '99 and it was still very much shipshape at that point, but 60 years on the seabed has taken its toll on the old girl and she's deteriorating year on year, but there's no taking away from the epic scale of this enormous vessel. The island's other wrecks are a mix of cargo vessels, tugboats and patrol boats, some purpose sunk, some the results of bad weather conditions, and they lie in a range of depth, so there is something for all levels of diver. Top tip, while not strictly a wreck, when on Grenada make sure you visit the underwater sculpture park, which was the first of its kind on the planet. Number 3, Egypt. Ask any diver about wreck diving and Egypt's Red Sea will likely be on their list of recommended places to dive. This wreck diving mecca is loved by divers around the world, and for good reason. As well as offering wreck diving that's suitable for everyone from new divers up, Egypt's vibrant marine life and excellent visibility make it an essential wreck diving destination. The jewel in the crown is undoubtedly the Thistlegorm. Sunk in 1941, this 122 metre long British vessel offers easy wreck diving in clear waters. A typical dive there will include diving the exterior and the exterior, where you'll find motorbikes, trucks, guns, bombs, steam engines and other cargo, all surrounded by an array of marine life. It's like diving in an underwater military museum. Then there's Abu Nuhas, which is a submerged reef off Hurghada known for its wrecks. The Giannis D, the Chrysula K, or Marcus, depending on which book you read, the Cayman M, and the oldest diveable shipwreck in the Red Sea, the Carnatic, which went down in 1869. All 4 are covered in coral and marine growth, and some, notably the Giannis D, offer fantastic penetration dives. The Numidia is another world-class wreck, clinging impossibly upright on the sheer wall of the Big Brother Island. This vast ship has been underwater for over a century, is encrusted in coral growth, and is often patrolled by grey reef sharks. Top tip, Egypt's wrecks can get busy. Choose a day boat that arrives early, or better yet, dive there from a liveaboard to completely avoid the crowd. Number 2, Micronesia. Consisting of over 2,000 idyllic islands with turquoise waters full of World War II wrecks, it's fair to say Micronesia is one of the most scenic wreck diving destinations. Micronesia's Truk Lagoon, or Chuuk to give it its proper name, was a Japanese naval base in World War II. It was attacked by the US in 1944 during Operation Hailstone, which resulted in more than 60 ships and 200 airplanes being sunk. There are now more than 48 wrecks to dive there, and the seabed is littered with historical artefacts. Often featured in underwater photography, Truk's wrecks are covered in bright corals and surrounded by schooling fish. Truk diving is easy and possible year round, thanks to the calm lagoon waters. There are numerous wrecks at 18 to 44 metres deep, plus a good selection down to 60 for keen tech divers. The Fujikara Maru and the Sankizan Maru are popular Truk wrecks. Dive in, navigate the different wreck compartments, and you'll be rewarded with coral covered trucks, airplane fuselages and engines. For a deeper dive, try the San Francisco Maru. This well-known wreck in the 40 to 60 metre depth range contains mines, tanks and trucks. For wrecks, reef dives and pelagic action in the Big Blue, visit Palau. This diverse destination hosts the Aero Maru, a large freighter sunk in 44 that sits upright in the water and hosts diverse marine life. Then there's a GX seaplane. Discovered in '94 by a fisherman, this seaplane is a World War II Navy seaplane perched precariously on a coral head. Top tip, dive Palau from November to April for the most pelagics and the best water visibility. And number 1, the Marshall Islands. If you love tech wreck diving, add Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands to your wish list. This famous atoll was subject to US atomic bomb tests in the 1940s and 1950s, which included dropping a 15 megaton TNT hydrogen atomic bomb on a US mock naval fleet. The bomb was 1,000 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima and left an enormous 2-kilometre wide crater that reached down to 74 metres. Few divers have had the privilege of exploring this ship's graveyard, and it's only recently become a liveaboard diving destination. Hosting large shipwrecks lying at depth in a pristine lagoon ecosystem, Bikini Atoll's dive sites are simply incomparable. The famous USS Saratoga, a 277 metre long aircraft carrier, rests at 52 metres deep. The Nagato lies upside down at 40 to 52 metres, her huge prop sticking up into the bright blue water. Unlike the wrecks of Truk and Palau, there is little hard or soft coral growing on the huge vessels, meaning you can easily spot the different features. Top tip, you need to perfect your buoyancy skills before diving Bikini Atoll to prevent disturbing the silt that lies in the wreck's interiors. And finally, there is one more wreck diving location we have to mention that should be on every diver's list. Scapa Flow in Scotland's Orkney Islands. Even if you're a dedicated warm water diver, this iconic site is worth getting dry suit certified for. The northern reaches of the United Kingdom are home to a fascinating variety of dive destinations, but the highlight is Scapa Flow. This natural harbour and former chief base of the Royal Navy is renowned for its wrecks and sits firmly in the history books. At the end of World War I, the German Imperial Navy's High Seas Fleet was held at Scapa and was scuttled on the 21st of June 1919 by the German commander, Rear Admiral Ludwig von Reuter, who mistakenly believed that hostilities were about to resume and the vessels would be taken by the Allies. 52 of the 74 vessels sank, but alas, the largest marine salvage operation in history saw the majority of these immense vessels razed and scrapped. Just 7 remain there today, but they are so awesome and handily lying in depths from 12 to 46 metres that Scapa Flow attracts divers from around the world. Don't let the cold water temperatures put you off. The sheer size of the wrecks makes diving there worthwhile, and the waters can be surprisingly clear for UK waters. The largest wrecks of the fleet, the battleships Kronprinz Wilhelm, Markgraf and Konig, are all over 170 metres in length and host conger eels, wrasse and other marine life. So get dry suit certified and make sure Scapa is on your must dive list. Top tip, dive Scapa Flow in March to April or September-October for the best visibility. So that's our selection of legendary wreck diving sites, but there are many, many more. What are some of your favourite shipwrecks? Leave your comments below, and if you have a question, fire away. Because if we can't answer it, maybe someone in our community will be able to. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can grab a free digital magazine subscription in the description below. As always, stay safe, and if you're one of the lucky people who live somewhere you're able to get out and dive, enjoy.